Welcome back, everybody, to another XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. USC is going to the Big Ten, and the Xbox is still awesome. And hence, if you're watching live, I'm wearing the USC
If
colors.
Xbox were in a conference, would they be in the Big Ten?
Xbox would be in the Big Ten, yes.
They would follow USC.
They may be in the SEC for this current generation, but yeah, they definitely would have chosen. They would have bounced from the Pac-12. And
no, you're very excited about that.
I could not be more excited.
Because we're playing a lot of good teams.
Every year I'm now going to get the opportunity to go to Michigan, Ohio, Penn State, Wisconsin.
A lot of good games.
Oh, so much fun.
A lot of good games. Yes.
A lot of good games. Speaking of the Xbox, stuff. No, I played Ninja Turtles this week.
Yeah. With your kids, right?
I've been playing a level a day with the kids. First of all, it's the perfect game to play with kids. My kids, I have that Nintendo Mini and the Sega Genesis Mini, and they've played that. I'll tell you what,
it's trained them.
They're good. Yeah, there's a reason. I would like to submit this. I think a generation of kids that grow up on modern gaming are not as good as kids that grow up on the old platformers.
100% agree.
Yeah. My son comes in and just knows what to do. In a Ninja Turtles games, it's like second nature. Those games are just more accessible.
Accessible
for they teach you the principles of gaming
life.
I would say they teach you the principles of life because they did not play test those games.
Yeah.
And you realize that, you suck at games.
So I'll give you an example.
So
sometimes I'll walk
practice.
Sometimes we have a playroom where this happens, and sometimes I walk into the playroom and my kid, his name is Mac. I'm like, Mac, why is your character? I walk in, there's like this character. He's just standing on a screen, and he's like, I'm just trying to figure out how to get out of here. It's Toe Jam and Earl on the Nintendo.
I love that game.
Yeah,
he's like analyzing the screen.
But for a 3-year-old, he can't even read. You have to be able to read in that game. But it teaches you, those old games teach you gaming logic.
Problem solving
that newer games don't necessarily do.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
And so anyways, when we jump into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, I still dominate those little kids. But
I like how your filter kicked in. Those
pieces of
filter kicks in. Kids.
Those little children. Yeah. But it's so much fun. It just it brings back this nostalgia. But more than that, it's just a good game.
Yeah.
I told you. Yeah, I like it.
Crazy about that, huh? Just a good game.
I'm teaching
game.
Well, I'm teaching my kids, you got to jump and kick and back and forth. It's the best, especially on the robot ropes. You got to just jump and kick.
Yeah.
Have you played a flying or a hoverboard level yet?
One, yes.
Because you gotta jump.
Jump and kick.
That's a jump
AX.
and kick.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good. That's a really good game. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, it is on Game Pass. Highly recommend it. We did our first impression review of it last week. You guys both were impressed. You liked it. Jordan the Man, I understand you finished it this week.
Yes.
Final review on
I really like it.
Ninja Turtles.
And I know I really like it. I said this last week. This probably wouldn't have been. I may have bought it because I have some, like Barbara Blake really likes the fighting games, and I do too. The beat 'em up games. I played Streets of Rage and had a good time with that. And now I've played Ninja Turtles. Those are probably the only two really like real beat 'em up games I've played.
Sure. Did you ever play Battle Axe?
No.
Like the OG beat 'em up.
No, yeah, and like usually when I'd go to the arcade, I'd hit like the air hockey table and skee ball. You know what I mean? Okay. I wouldn't hit the beat 'em up, stuff like that. But anyway, no, out of those two games, I think Ninja Turtles is better. Not to say Streets of Rage is bad, but I think I like Ninja Turtles better because it felt like there was much more variety in a lot of the levels. Like we went to the hoverboard levels. There was a lot of cool variety with the boss fights. It was a lot of fun. And again, it reiterates how good I think Game Pass is. Because this is another game that I will now buy the next one that comes out just because I've gotten to play this game on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I think it's definitely a worth play. Even if you don't have Game Pass, I don't know the price. I think it's $20 maybe if you don't have Game Pass, but it's well worth that. It's really good.
A ton of fun.
Yeah.
Ton of fun. Let's go into the title of this episode is Xbox continues to lead the way for the future of gaming. And this is based on an article that dropped this week. Let me just go through this. This is from gamesindustry.biz. And this is what they say. DFC Intelligence, which is an investment firm, a tracking firm, released information from its 2022 market forecast today, saying it expects PC and console software market to post a record year in 2022. Wait for it. Driven by growth in subscription services. They're up 5% for last year. Last year was a record year in the gaming industry overall.
I feel like every year is a record year, you know?
But look at where we're at. Look at the price of gas.
Yeah.
Look at inflation. We're about to enter a recession if we're not already in one, and we're still seeing that kind of growth, and it's due to subscription gaming. A major driver of this growth, they say, is not new releases, but increasing usage of subscription services from Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and others. Even as prices rise and the possibility of recession lurks, the core game industry should continue to grow, the firm said. Let's do a rewind all the way back to when Game Pass first dropped.
All right, who are we going after now? I'm ready for it.
Everybody who criticizes Game Pass, it's not going to work. Nobody wants it. It's not sustainable. Fast forward to 2022, Sony's in on it. Nintendo's in on it. I think Steam will eventually get in on it. I think Microsoft is all in on it. And the gaming industry is growing because of it, despite less than optimal economic conditions.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, of course, just like with Netflix and the, you know, the regular streaming services, there had to be the first person to do it, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft leads the way.
That's the
Xbox does.
And when you look back at previous generations, look at last generation PlayStation definitely led the way. And what did they lead the way on? They led the way because they had the top tier single player games that we've seen maybe ever.
You're talking PlayStation, right?
PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation 3. Oh, yeah. We got a lot of good ones on the PlayStation.
But when Xbox last led a generation, it was during the Xbox 360. And what did they lead on? They led on online gaming. They really brought that to the forefront. Xbox Live was fantastic. First paid for service, and they led the way in that. This feels much more akin to that. And when they did lead, they led the entire console generation for the most part during the Xbox 360.
Till like the very end, right? When
Yeah.
I think PlayStation, it was due to like
caught up,
PlayStation. Yeah, but I think it was due to like PlayStation 2 sales or something like that.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was PlayStation.
But
3,
all I know is this feels like that, but times it feels like Microsoft is much further ahead in this aspect than they were even with like Xbox Live, for instance, at the time. And I lived through those times.
A Red Ring of Death.
Yeah, the Red Ring.
Hey, we all lived through that one.
Yeah.
I was baking my Xbox in a towel daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a trick to let it trick it, but yeah.
Freezer peas on my Xbox.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Because it was a heating issue, I think, right? Because the oven thing was to trick it back into another error, and then like you could cool it back to because because if I remember, it could only handle one error at a time.
Correct.
Right?
So the error that would make the three rings like go crazy, if you wrapped the Xbox in a towel, turned it on for 20 minutes, since there's only room for its memory to remember one error, you replace it with an overheat error, and then it just works fine for about 45 minutes.
Get a couple rounds in, and then
get a couple rounds of Call of Duty, and then you just start the oven baking again.
So funny. But Spicy, thoughts on that? Yeah, I mean, gaming industry is growing in large part, at least by this analysis, DFC, DFC Intelligence, this firm, because of subscription services. Is Xbox leading? Am I overstating the case, maybe?
Well, Xbox is definitely leading because they have the first mover advantage, and they're one of the first people to do it right. I would say. I don't remember,
but I mean leading in a way like the entire gaming industry is changing because of what Xbox is doing.
Well, I think
and Microsoft.
I think the entire gaming industry sees like Sony and I mean even EA and Ubisoft. They got in a little bit earlier than Sony did, but they see the value in subscription gaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, this tends to happen when you have businesses like when the market is very tight with very big players in it.
Yeah.
If there's ever a shift, I mean, I learned about this in economics years ago. I can't even remember what it's called. People in chat will probably correct me, but it's when one of the big three, big four, big five of any industry does something radically different. If it doesn't work, they immediately pull back. But if it works, everybody has to follow suit, or they lose competitivity, I guess.
Yes.
And this is one of those cases where one of the big players in the industry did something radically different. And because it's working, everybody else has to follow suit. Now, Microsoft has a significant advantage, I think, because of the power of their servers that they have. They had the infrastructure to basically make this work.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other players now are going to even have to lean on their competitor to get their services to work effectively alongside it, right? With other things. So, yeah. To answer your question, yes. Since it is a sustainable move and that it is working, it is going to shift the entire market for sure. And it is. We're obviously
in the middle.
Well, and
We're
I
in the
think
middle
it's
of that.
I think it's just a combination of their strategy, because we've seen in the last 3 months, we've seen in Japan, Xbox is doing well. They're beating those sales. I mean, Sony is still ahead with the PlayStation 5, I think worldwide. But
Sony dominates Europe.
no, they do.
Like crazy.
They do good there. But we've seen with Game Pass and with that lower price point on the Series S, Xbox is doing really well at moving consoles the
Yep.
past couple months, not only in Japan but worldwide. You know?
Yeah.
And a part of that leading and part of that technology is Xbox went in the cloud direction. And I mean, everybody's going the cloud direction now. But if you remember, PlayStation went all in on the VR aspect of things.
Yeah, they even have, I think, the VR2, which I will probably buy.
Yeah, I mean it is a fun experience, but Xbox really doubled down on cloud gaming. They have a cloud infrastructure due to their other due to Microsoft. And this week they announced, along with Samsung, the gaming hub, the Xbox hub on Samsung's TVs, 2022 TVs and beyond. Now you'll just need to open up your Xbox hub, sign in, and you'll be able to, guess what? Play your Xbox games through the cloud on your TV without the need of a console. And I think this is this low-key advantage. This is part of this changing of the gaming industry, and Microsoft just seems to be very aggressive about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, they've always had good partnerships with Samsung, haven't they? Because they've always, whenever they release,
least recently.
Yeah, was it when they released the Series X and S, they partnered with Samsung and they got the QLED TV. You know what I mean? I feel like they've always been partnering with Samsung. But no, this is cool. Now, is that the route to go? I don't know, because a decent Samsung TV are generally a little bit more higher end. So that's a big price point just to get on
Samsung
Xbox.
has
But
some mid-tier televisions now.
yeah,
as
but
well.
no, I think it's cool that it's now something you can get on.
Yeah,
well,
now-
what's really interesting is, when is this going to come to the other TVs? You know, what I mean?
think
That's
it's
what I want to know.
It's inevitable. I'm sure maybe Samsung has some sort of.
those Roku TVs,
Yeah.
those TLCs
as-
or TCLs, that you get for like $5.
When is it coming to the $5 TV?
Yeah,
that's what we're asking.
The
Well, I
$5
don't think-
4K TVs.
I don't think it is. I think that's the stick, the Xbox stick, or the dongle that is rumored to be being worked on at the moment. That's.
Well, see, I almost wonder if this is the better route for them. Just do a hub built into the TVs.
Well, it's probably some sort of exclusive deal with Samsung.
Yeah.
At least a
For now.
temporary exclusive deal. But I think it's a smart move. The other thing that's smart is you don't actually need Xbox membership to play Fortnite that way.
Yeah, they got rid of that. It's most free-to-play games now, too. I think Rocket League, right?
Well, but on Samsung's Game Hub for the Xbox, you can play Fortnite without even having to sign in. So then when you sign in, then when you have an Xbox membership, you unlock everything else. Smart move by them. You're going after kid. Now a kid will grow up in a home
where they see the
where
Xbox
where
logo.
there's an Xbox built into their TV. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
In 27 countries, this launched. It's available today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Changing the world.
And it's only on it's not like a retro thing, right? Like Samsung isn't going to update their old TVs
No,
to
you
it.
need
It's
one of their
specifically
you
the
need a
2022
model
TVs.
of
Yeah.
Samsung. So I'm sure you can go online, you can go to the Xbox news site, Xbox Livewire or whatever, and you'll be able to see where it's at. The other thing, I mean, if you have I've been using the Xbox to stream to my iPad, from my console to my iPad. That works pretty well as well. But
Hey, here's the question.
Yeah.
Is it going to work well? Because I remember when TV said that you could browse the internet on them, and that sucks. The big one.
Yeah.
Like, it's like every OS on any TV just sucks.
I think
Maybe that's why it's only
for
on the new
instance-
2022.
for instance, going to a browser on a TV to go to YouTube is a miserable experience. Opening up the YouTube app on the TV is a fantastic experience. I think that's why.
Okay.
That's
I'm just saying, as long as it works, then you won't get kids that will hate Xbox.
Yeah. No.
Because it doesn't work. You know?
But I think it's smart to have Fortnite there as your selling point to introduction for kids. I mean, that's ultimately your audience.
Yeah.
Those are your future customers.
Yeah.
It's very smart. Very, very smart. Now, and if you're a parent and you start to market this correctly on Xbox side, you say, hey, you've already got a Samsung TV. Just buy a subscription for your kid. And guess what? He gets access to hundreds of games every single month. You as a parent never have to spend another dime on a game. Just that $14 monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Except you're going to have to buy them V-Bucks.
V-Bucks.
You
Yes.
think that free to play is free to play. Technically it is, but it's more expensive. than
Is
you actually
Fortnite
think.
the best free-to-play model on the planet right now?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, games mimic it.
Why? Why is it the best?
Well, one, it's not pay to win, and two, they have cool stuff.
That's actually the formula. There's
Don't be Don't be pay to win, and just have cool stuff that I want to buy, and I'll buy it.
Yeah, like they have an Indiana Jones skin.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. But
Like,
the argument that
how do you not purchase
But
that?
those IPs cost a ton of money that only a
No.
current successful Fortnite could do.
They didn't used to.
Yeah, remember?
I got the Reaper,
Yeah.
which was John
Woo.
Vick.
No, but what I'm saying, no. Oh,
You know?
yeah. That's the way to do it.
That's how you build up your
That's
money,
how-
and then when you have
that's
enough
how
to
they
buy
did it.
licenses,
That's
you
exactly
start.
what they did. I have a John Vick character. The Woogie Man.
Johnny Vick.
Johnny Vick. Oh man, yeah. See, and then they had enough money where now these big IPs are going to them, you know. But no, it's
Well, and they probably don't pay. It's
not
probably
pay to win.
It's probably a revenue share situation.
Cool shiz.
Yeah.
That's the formula.
Yeah, I would be curious. So
Often, frequently, consistent cool shiz.
they've been doing a lot of Disney stuff lately in the respect that they did Marvel. They're doing Star Wars. I think is Indiana Jones owned by Disney now because they own LucasArts and that owns.
think
I don't
so,
know.
yeah.
I don't know how that works. But anyway, I'd be curious. What is the split?
I don't.
Because Disney is not there to be nice.
When you get big like Fortnite,
I actually think
when you
the
get
Magical
big like
Kingdom
Fortnite,
is
it's
very
probably
ruthless.
So it's called minimum guarantees. Like you, so for instance, let's say we're building a game and we go to Disney and say, this is our game. We would love to partner with you. Because Disney obviously is the big dogs in the room, we have to give them a minimum guarantee.
But see, are
like
they?
$500 million. We give you a minimum guarantee, and they're like, okay, boom, we'll come to play. Here's the deals. Here's the deal that we'll put in place. We want 50% of all revenues. Here's what you have to do for our IP. Blah 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 blah. But in Epic's case, with Fortnite, it's probably either no minimum guarantee. It's probably just a revenue share. It benefits. There's like a mutual beneficial there. Beneficial.
Yeah.
Beneficiary.
Because Fortnite, I think, is
Fortnite's
they
that
might
big.
be the big boy in the room.
Having said that, it's still Disney, so Disney probably charges a crap ton.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the Magical Kingdom is incredibly ruthless.
Magical Kingdom.
The Magical Kingdom.
Yeah, they are.
Can afford to be the Magical Kingdom.
Is terrifying. They are a terrifying.
They have their own mafia that come for you. Mickey Mouse looks nice.
Yeah,
He's
there are stories. Just look up Fern Gully, everybody. Find
Yeah,
out what happened.
the Robin Williams.
Robin
thing, yeah.
Williams and the story of Robin Williams and Fern Gully, and you'll see how ruthless Disney can be.
That is a
And that was back in the 90s, so imagine it now. It's even worse.
Don't mess around. Send in the rats. That's what they say.
They will take down an elementary school. So they will.
That's true.
They will take it down.
They won't let you put things on, and they won't put they won't let you put anything on tombstones that is like their. Did you hear about that story? Mm-hmm. There was this kid, that a younger kid. He had a really rare disease and ended up passing away from it. But one of his favorite characters was Spider-Man.
Sure.
So they wanted to put Spider-Man on the tombstone, and they couldn't do it because of copyright.
Really?
Yeah. and
I mean,
and you're looking over
do
at
a Spider-Man look-alike.
yeah, I think that's probably what they did. That's probably what they had to
There's
do.
a PR
but-
loss for them.
Yeah, it was just like, ooh, God, like I get it, but there's some things you got to let go. You know, like
some things they like sent a cease and desist to the mortuary.
Yeah, well, no, well the whole elementary school, Disney sent cease and desist
for, like, plays.
because of like they did Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I know.
So you got to do like
As
Beauty
like a
and
play
the
or something.
Yeah, you got to do
Yeah.
like the offshoot of Beauty and the
Gotta
Beast.
do,
like Beauty and the Lion. Or
I know that Disney, speaking of like copyright, Disney has been for decades fronting copyright IP protection and laws because of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, because everything else that old, there's an expiration date.
correct.
And
that
Mickey
goes into
Mouse
fair
is
use.
like one of the only ones that
Well,
has.
They're
has
actually
not.
really smart. So I actually don't know where I gotta look it up because I look it up every 5 years because every 5 years it should have expired, but they do something else. But they like
Don't they just tweak it slightly?
they just change the like a line on his glove, and then they have it for another 50 years. You know, they add a little gem to Mickey Mouse's hand, and it's pretty funny that they do that.
Yeah,
and then
but-
they can still go.
Moral of the story: if you ever want to do anything Disney, you have to make sure you bought a licensed action figure. Like they're intense.
So I played.
Just don't F with Disney.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the moral. of the
Unless
story.
you have the power like Fortnite or something, you know. Then
I would
then
love
you
to see Fortnite go up against Disney.
Well, they went up against Apple.
Yeah.
How did that turn out, by the way? Did we just settle
I
on
don't
that
know.
one? Or?
I think some waves were made. Think about that. Think about Epic was like, all right, screw Apple. We want to be able to sell inside of our game. We don't want to have to give you a cut of it. And Apple just removed them from their phones. They own 50% of the market share, essentially worldwide.
Yeah.
And Epic is just like, yeah, well, okay, we'll take you to court. That's big boy. That's big boy.
That's yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Why I can't be a billionaire? I would sue everyone.
Would you?
Oh yeah, that'd be like a hobby. Like what big corporation don't I like right now?
Oh, let's sue them.
You go to the grocery store, the wheel on the cart's wiggling.
No.
It's pulling to the left.
No, I would.
Oh, you know what?
I would sue
I'm
stuff
a billionaire. Sued.
like the Apple thing. That's hilarious to me. It's true. I would sue. It would be fun. Suing you. Like I would sue Disney for the Mickey Mouse thing just because I think it would be hilarious. Like
You would sue them for Mickey Mouse?
yeah, like
Well,
you.
what
I want
rights?
that patent to expire.
You have no beneficial gain. You're
None.
just like
You just want
That's what I'm
to
saying.
just
It
make
would
them
be-
go through the legal
It
process.
would be a
you know?
hobby. Like what can I change here?
you could do like a pretty cool reality show.
And I'd make a YouTube channel about it.
David sues Blink.
Like X1 the sewer. X1 the lawsuit. That would be my name.
Oh man.
So I played Ninja Turtles this week. That's basically all that I played. Again, great time with the kids. Highly recommend it if you've not jumped into it. But Jordan, you said you found, and you didn't tell me what it was. You were saving it for the show.
So I found this new game. It's not new. It's actually been out for a long time, but it's relatively new to Xbox. And I played it for the first time this week, and they happen to be doing a Master Chief event right now. But that is Fall Guys.
Oh yeah, Fall Guys is now on Game Pass.
It's actually
It's free to play. Yeah, they
So-
went free to play, which is smart for Fall Guys.
Yeah,
But
it's
on Xbox.
I played with Mark, and Mark actually had one of the greatest comments I've ever heard in my life while we were playing. But it was a really fun game. I am excited to play more. They're doing a Master Chief event, so you can get a Master Chief skin for your little pill guy, whatever he's called, Fall Guy.
Yeah.
But it's basically just Mario Party racing events. It's super cool.
Yeah, let's pull up some
I can pull
gameplay
it
of it.
up.
So for those of you that have never seen Fall Guys, it's a big deal that it's free to play and a big deal that it's coming to Xbox. Now, if you're a Game
Coming, it's
Pass,
here, it's here.
It's here. Sorry, if you're a Game Pass, you get Game Pass perks. You get certain skins and stuff
don't
like
they
that.
have a perk on there as
Yeah,
well? Yeah.
and certain characters because you have Game Pass, so that's good. Even though it's free to play, so make sure you jump in and get those. For those of you that don't know what Fall Guys is, Fall Guys got really big, I think, right at the start of COVID on PC. Every streamer
a lot of big streamers were playing it.
Every streamer was playing it. It's basically a 2020 version of Mario Party. Like it's a party game, and there's
'cause
different activities.
I thought
it's all online, and it's super fun.
I thought it really is kind of the modern Mario Party, because I thought it was just racing, but no, those are just certain rounds. There's like mini game rounds where you have to jump through hoops.
Yeah.
There's one where you have to hold on to a penguin.
Yeah.
It's actually really fun, and it's the elimination that gets you going, because if you don't qualify in each round, you get eliminated. So it's almost, I wouldn't compare it to like a battle royale, but it's just like elimination racing, or elimination, like if you don't qualify, you're eliminated, and the rest of the people move on without you.
Yeah.
But it is really fun.
Yeah,
and
them moving. So you used to have to purchase this game. They moved free. They announced it. I'd say 2 months ago that they're moving free to play, and then it was coming to consoles, and you get the Xbox perks if you jump to it. And a game like this needs a constant player base, and so going free to play, they announced a battle pass with the free to play move, or a season pass rather.
Yeah, well, and
it's a smart move for them. It's a smart move.
I've watched people play. When it first came out, I think it was probably like XQC or something. They were playing it for a while. Like I've watched people play it, and I was like, oh, that looks fun, but I've never just jumped in. But it was after we beat Ninja Turtles earlier this week. I was like, let's try Fall Guys. I mean, it's here, it's free. Let's just give it a shot. And I'll be honest, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Spicy, did you have a frustrating round or something?
No. I mean, it's fairly. The first couple games you play are fairly straightforward.
Sure.
You just go through obstacles, and then you hit the finish line. And once you hit the finish line, you can go through and watch people. And the comment I made was, I was just like, I'm watching a lot of people just make terrible decisions.
And it was like, I thought it was a life comment. Like, I'm just watching people make terrible decisions.
I'm just watching a lot of people make terrible decisions because they do like look ahead, look ahead at what's coming,
Anticipate people.
I felt like I was. You ever see that movie First Night? King Arthur, remember?
First Night?
Yeah, years. It's a '90s movie.
I don't think they did.
Anyways,
He was a bad decision maker.
no, it was like there's a gauntlet, and it's not Sir Lancelot. What's his name? I can't remember. The main character in the movie goes through this gauntlet, and he just walks through it. And he's like, guys, no one at that point has ever finished the gauntlet.
Sure.
You know? This is starting to become really boring. I'm sorry,
No.
but he just goes, well, just if you look ahead, you'll be fine, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
That's how this game is. Just look ahead. You'll be fine. And I'm watching these people just make terrible decisions.
But the way it was like, I am just watching people make the worst decisions.
I'm like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
I can't take watching these things.
It's hard.
I have
because it's like,
no hope for humanity.
you know, they have like that's kind of they're like these teeter totters, you know, and they go up and down. And if you go on one side, it goes up so you can jump off. But they're running to the wrong side, and it's just.
I'll play this game this week. Let's play it.
No,
In fact,
it's really fun.
We should record it.
The multiplayer is really fun. It's I can see this game ending friendships. You know, I can see it. I think it might be one of those games, but that adds to the fun. But no, it's just and we actually noticed the menu is set up very similar to Fortnite's menu. So
it's like exactly
we knew where to
Fortnite's
go
menu.
buy things.
But so my biggest grief with this game is there's a lot of sensory input.
Oh yeah,
Like it's like holy crap! Like at the end of every match, it's like everything's. It's like when I turned on. I mentioned this to Jordan. When I turned on Grand Theft Auto 5 for the first time over 3 years, Lester called me about 70 times, and I couldn't shut him up. I had to keep pressing A, pop up, pop up, pop up. That's how this game kind of is. There's a lot of sensory input that's flooding your.
It's a party.
Your brain.
It's a party of.
Yeah.
It's a sensory party.
Well, and check this out. Chat is telling us that you can share a room code with 57 other people, so we can have a community play night. That would be really
there's
fun.
60 player limits. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be,
Dude, let's do
that would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
We should do it before our next podcast, like
Well, aren't
the
you?
hour before we start.
Oh yeah, and just like
and
Fall Guys.
then we can talk about it on the podcast.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, everybody that's listening, we're good for a podcast next Friday. Everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, what is next Friday?
The only
First,
person that ever
like,
changed it is you. So if you're
I-
good,
Five,
I'm gonna
six,
have to
seven,
change it in a
8.
couple weeks, but I think
It's-
next
wait,
Friday is
it's
good.
wait.
8 or 9th next Friday.
it's the.
It's the 8th. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm probably good.
I've cleared the schedule. I'm good.
Okay,
I
everybody.
hate that level.
Okay, everybody. So depending on when the podcast starts, like the hour before, we'll announce it in Discord. We will do Fall Guys.
We'll just go room code X.
We'll
something.
throw the code up and we'll start it up and we'll do a big round. Maybe we'll do 2 rounds depending on who loses first. If I lose, we're going to do a second round.
You'll just kill the server.
Server.
All right, it's over.
And then we can talk about it. In fact, we could talk about it during the show as a recap.
And everybody, it is 100% free to play. All you got to do is have 3 gigs of space on your hard drive.
So prepare, practice, and get ready. Better bring your A game. Fall Guys.
Yeah. Whoever's playing right now
Yeah,
is
this
very
guy's good.
He's very good.
He took the secret top lane.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
He's
But
qualified.
that was a secret lane?
Well, it's the harder lane to get to.
It's the skill gap lane.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can only traverse that if you understand the terrible physics in this game.
Terrible physics. The human fall flat-esque physics of this game.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So Jordan the Man, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I had a blast. I'm going to play more because they got a Master Chief event going on, so you can get a Master Chief skin. It was a lot of fun.
There you go. Let's take some questions. Actually, you had another news story that you want to talk about?
I think that was it.
Want to talk
Oh,
about
no,
Halo
it was the Master Chief.
Oh,
thing.
Master
I can
Fall
talk
Guys.
about something if you want to talk about something.
Yeah, give me what do you
Overwatch 2 should be open beta now.
Oh, excellent.
Only on PC is for now, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have been. My attentions are elsewhere for the time being. Yeah, I'm playing other games. But Overwatch 2, I believe June 28th, which was 2 days ago, they announced that there is an open beta now for Overwatch 2, so you can go play. I would expect it to be. I don't know. It's probably not on console, to be honest, but you can play it on your PC.
There you go.
Regardless.
There you go. Let's take some questions. To write in or to get a question in every single week, you can head over to youtube.com/XoneBros and come to the community tab and submit your question. It's Mint writes in and says, "Evening, bros. Just a quick one. Do you miss playing game demos? Why do you think developers don't put them out as much? I'm all for betas for multiplayer games, but I miss playing demos to help me purchase a good single-player game." What are your thoughts?
I actually think due to technology and ease of advertisement, there's I think because the demo disc you'd get in the magazines and stuff was basically advertisement.
But on 360, they had a lot of demos that you could play.
Yeah, but that was like I would say that was the internet still at an earlier
stage,
age or earlier stage because
We've grown up, David.
yeah.
Also, I think, Spicy, you've said this in the past. Streaming is the new game demo.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It is, for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like to try out more demos. I'm not against it. I do, like he says, I think beta tests are good. Demos for games are good. So, actually, Final Fantasy XIV had a demo that they took a lot of feedback from and tried to incorporate into the main game when it released. So, I think they're still there. But I think the reason we don't see them as much is because I feel like the main purpose of them was advertising.
Yeah.
And advertising
is done
differently now.
Streaming.
Streaming,
There's
yeah.
just so many avenues, YouTube channels. I mean, every YouTube influencer gets a code way beforehand and gets to talk about it.
Even like in the Xbox game stores, you can get your game on the front page and so, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Great question, though. It's Mint. Thank you very much for writing in. Blake Densley writes in and says, "Why are there not more beat-em-up games? They're awesome. I loved playing and beating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge." Spicy, why do you think there's not more beat-em-up games?
Well,
advertising.
no. I mean, there are a lot out there. And I don't... There are a lot out there.
Would you consider Yakuza a type of beat-em-up game?
Yeah, that's like a 3D beat 'em up.
What would you like modern? I think he's at like modern beat 'em up games. Like,
well, I mean, because
like they redid Streets of Rage, they Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they just redid.
Hey, Blake, try Scott Pilgrim, try Castle Crashers, try. Obviously, you played Turtles. There are a lot of beat 'em up games out there. The thing about them, they're all kind of the same.
They're one-dimensional.
So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, the nice thing about Turtles is it's Turtles.
So you're more invested in it.
You're invested. It
Yeah.
just works for whatever reason. It just feels good.
Yeah, Battletoads is another one. Thank you. There are a lot out there. They're all kind of the same. The nice thing about the old ones is they were extremely difficult, so there was a lot of replayability.
I would say so. I played Battletoads pretty hard.
Oh,
when
that's
it
right. Yeah,
came out.
Battletoads. Yeah, I forgot about
is
that
one that I would highly
a Game Pass
recommend as
one.
well. Yeah, it's super Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would, if you want, Blake, talk to me directly, and I'll hook you up with some good ones. I like them too; they're fun. I mean, that's essentially what arcade games were for a full decade in the 90s.
Yeah.
Were these beat 'em ups? So I really like them. I don't know. I kind of I feel like they're kind of a palate cleansing style game. Once you get your fill of them, you kind of want to move on to other things.
Yeah, most of them aren't super heavy story driven.
Yeah.
Very simple game mechanics, repetitive game mechanics. Would you
Streets of Rage. Yes, Streets of Rage.
Would you consider Jordan the Man Trek to Yomi a beat 'em up game?
I mean, if you have loosely, maybe. I mean, I think that's more like a
walking simulator where you beat them up.
Yeah, I would. To be honest, I think I would.
Trek to Yomi kind of is a beat 'em up though.
It's a walking simulator with
but
beat 'em
like
up,
so is.
beat 'em up
I mean,
mechanics.
I guess you could make that same argument with like Mario is a beat 'em up game, like Super Mario, because you're technically fighting.
No, but there's way more game mechanics to a Mario than to Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi literally was walking and pressing X to stab someone in the chest.
Any platformer in the last 20 years is technically, by your definition, a beat 'em up.
No, I wouldn't consider Mario Brothers a beat 'em up.
That was before 20 years ago. I would say the last 20 years. Want me to give examples?
give me an example.
Ori.
Ori's a perfect example.
No, Ori is not a. Ori is more of a action adventure game because there's.
That's what I would put Trek to Yomi as.
No, there's no. Like,
I would say it's an adventure.
I think
game.
when you start to add like puzzle systems into them, or
Hollow Knight.
or yeah, I think but Hollow Knight is considered a rogue game, right? Or what is it called?
But I mean, you're walking and you beat people up and then you keep walking.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right.
But there,
Ninja Gaiden.
But isn't there a discovery? So to me, a beat 'em up is this. Here's your level. There's nothing super hidden. There's no puzzles. It's literally bad guys thrown on the screen, beat them up, move on to the next level.
Yes, but in Turtles there were a few hidden objects that you
there's
can
like
find, and there's like a
newspapers on the ground.
Yeah, but you get those to then unlock new combos. So it has elements of RPG in it.
I don't know that Trek. How is Trek to Yomi? Because Cooper says Trek to Yomi is he would consider action adventure.
I would too, because there's action while on your adventure.
But isn't that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes,
No.
but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
actually
is more
adventure
beat 'em
on
up.
an adventure.
The adventure is going left to right.
So is Trek to Yomi.
There is depth on Trek to Yomi, and
in
Trek to Yomi is
Turtles,
much more story driven.
The story is we're going to find bad guys.
But that's Trek to Yomi.
Here we go. Hey, no. A beat 'em up game, like here we go. A side scroller beat 'em up game. You're shown a certain section on the screen. You have to beat all those people up, and then it lets you progress to a next part, right?
Yeah.
Trek to Yomi is a little bit more fluid, going left and right, I would say. Same with like a Mario.
Yeah, but all you're doing is in Trek to Yomi is bad guys and different types of bad guys are coming onto your screen while you're walking, and you have to beat them before you can move on to the next scene. That's the same as Ninja Turtles. Like, what's the difference?
In Trek to
Why
Yomi,
is one considered an action adventure versus a
wait,
beat 'em
did
up?
Trek to Yomi lock you to the screen
I
though?
feel like-
before
Yeah.
you can move on.
I feel like, David, you're messing with me right now.
No, I'm not. Have you played Trek to Yomi?
Yes. I feel like you're trying to take like a movie genre, like let's say a romantic comedy, and you're like, I actually consider it a drama or something. And I'm like, okay, but that's not what it is. You know?
I think we're slightly agreeing with you, but also not at the same time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're convincing me that John Wick is not an action adventure. It's a romantic comedy.
My question is, what is a
Which you
what
could
is a-
tie that.
How is? But in all seriousness, how is Trek to Yomi different than Ninja Turtles? If Ninja Turtles is a beat 'em up,
One's color.
how is Trek to Yomi not? What specific mechanic makes Trek to Yomi not a beat 'em up?
The story.
But Ninja Turtles has a story too.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
no, it
go on.
doesn't. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's
like you go to
All right.
Bebop.
We gotta go to Channel 6 to save these guys. That's what Trek to Yomi is.
You know,
He
that-
killed my sensei.
that is literally, they were like, hey, we have to give them like why they're here, you know? Trek to Yomi is I feel like I don't know. Trek to Yomi is more story driven for sure than Ninja Turtles.
Let's back off and just say Trek to Yomi is a game, and Turtles is also a game.
Okay, we'll start.
Can we agree with that?
We'll start there. Yes. Now let's go let's double click on that and go one layer deep. Now, what type of games are they? Ninja Turtles. If Ninja Turtles is a beat 'em up, how is Trek to Yomi not a beat 'em up?
Yeah, but I can also like use that with that
Every
same
other
logic with
game.
every other game, right? Like if
No, because for instance, you
No,
guys
no,
said
if
you
Knights-
guys said Ori and the Blind Forest. No, I see like there's a
You-
distinct difference there.
you
There's
beat them up.
No, there's puzzles. There's different levels. It's Ori and the Blind Forest is more of a Metroidvania type of game than a beat 'em up easily.
yeah, but
Not
I
even
can
close.
make that comparison in the respect that like if Knights of the Old Republic is an RPG, how is Halo not an RPG? Because there are RPG elements within Halo, but we don't classify it as that. We call it a first-person shooter because that's what it is.
Yeah, but there's more of a that makes sense. All I'm saying is, I don't see why a Trek to Yomi is not considered a beat 'em up,
How about
other
this?
than the developers decided not to label it a beat 'em up.
How about this? Let's call Turtles a beat 'em up, and then let's call Trek to Yomi beat 'em up New Game Plus.
I mean, they're both platformers, right?
Is that?
Yeah, of
Will
course
that
it's
work?
a platformer, but
Trek to Yomi is more of a I don't well because like they're both technically action platformers, right?
yeah, they have those similarities. If they have those similarities, how is one a beat 'em up and one is not?
But that's
is
my point
question.
with Halo. It has similarities to RPG games. How is it not a?
Because it's not an RPG. The focus of the game, the literal focus of the game, is just on shooting people,
But
not on.
But no. The focus of the game is me role playing as Master Chief
But
in
part
that
of
game.
because part
getting
of role play,
upgrades,
part of role,
unlocking stuff.
No. Part of role play. There's no skill tree. You give me a
Yeah, there
legit.
is.
Not no.
There
It's
literally
not-
is a skill
It's
tree.
not like
No.
in depth.
No,
it's just
that's-
it's a
that's what
skill
I'm saying.
bar that you
And it's
keep,
not-
and you
it's-
unlock it. You there's a
it's-
story that
no,
you're role playing.
That's not the focus of the game. What I'm saying in Trek to Yomi and Ninja Turtles, the focus is the same. Bad guys come on screen. I kill bad guys.
Okay, that's technically
basically
the
it.
focus of Halo. Bad guys come on screen, kill bad guys.
Yeah, but it's a first-person shooter,
I really think David is trying to make my romantic comedy into a drama.
a rom-com.
A rom-com.
No,
Aren't they already dramas? Like that's
Yeah.
a drama.
I feel like we're really blurring the lines here.
No, I'm genuinely.
There's too many labels, man.
Yeah.
Stop labeling it, man.
But I'm genuinely. I think. See, Jason Potts says Google says Trek to Yomi is a side-scrolling action game. My question then is why? What is?
Well, my question is why?
Pull up Trek to Yomi. Let's go to the video.
Dieter
And then let's
Pinklage.
pull up Ninja Turtles.
Dieter Pinklage. Good point. Trek to Yomi is more of a cut 'em up game.
Yeah, you're killing them, but you're killing people.
Well, no, cut 'em up. You're using a sword. That may be the
Okay,
difference.
cut them up, beat them up, same thing.
Although I guess
it though?
Raphael. Yeah, you're not getting this story quality in Ninja Turtles. I'll tell you that.
I'm seriously a serious question. Here we go. Here it is, right here.
Okay, we're
watching.
watching a fight screen where.
But this guy's not even attack. What's he doing? He's trying to defend.
Okay.
This is like a tutorial. Can you go way
Oh
forward?
my gosh, we're
this
watching.
Is like the beginning.
We're on a bridge.
Yeah, this is like the beginning when he's learning stuff.
Okay.
See, there's more. This is. I don't know.
See, because basically, I think what it comes down to is the developers and who published this, Devolver Digital, decided
But
not
look,
to classify this as
if you look
beat
at
'em
this
up.
though, it's I mean, you can classify it as a side scroller, but there's a lot of original Final Fantasy, original Resident Evil games where like the camera pans and you walk in a room, you know what I mean? Where
but
it was
that's
like, you know,
just-
like
that's a loading
there's
screen.
more elements
But look
to
at
this game than there is.
This is a beat 'em up.
Hold on, David. What if I were to say
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Beat 'em ups require 0 brain power.
Well,
And this
actually,
requires-
Have you played Trek to Yomi?
yeah, actually, once you get the combo down,
Yeah.
it's
Trek to
actually
Yomi,
not.
it's the same 3 buttons I press for every bad guy.
I know, but you do have to care a little bit about positioning and stuff. It's like 1% brain power versus 0%
Excuse me,
brain power.
have you played the boss fight? When you fought Shredder in Ninja Turtles, you had to care about positioning.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just take.
Yes.
Or who's the Rhino dude?
Rhino guy?
The Rhino when he charges you, you gotta move out of the way. That's positioning, baby.
I think I think you're confused that both games have swords.
But see, this game, it's because of like, I would call this
I'll
a
go
more of
look
a.
up.
This is an action adventure story game because they're trying to tell a story in a very, let's just call it, artistic way. You know. And it does. You know
It's
what I'm talking
art,
about,
man.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The old, the original, like even Final Fantasy VII, the original, and then the original Resident Evils. You know how it was just like backgrounds that it would clip to. There's a lot of that in this game too. You know what I mean? Where like when he went upstairs, the camera clipped to a setting, and then he was able to run freely within that setting to collect things. You know.
Okay, here we go. Let's go to Wikipedia.
Oh yeah.
you want me to
Can't
pull-
you falsify entries on this website?
Oh, here we go.
I think he just did. in the 30
This was the
seconds.
number 1 article that came up when I typed in.
Recently edited by X1 the Gamer.
I googled what is a beat 'em up. The beat 'em up, also known as brawler and in some markets beat 'em all, is a video game genre featuring hand-to-hand combat between a large number of opponents. Traditional beat 'em up takes place in scrolling 2-dimensional levels, while a number of modern games feature more open 3-dimensional environments with yet larger numbers of enemies. The gameplay tends to follow arcade genre conventions, such as being simple to learn.
There, right there.
such
This
as
is
being
not an
simple to learn.
arcade genre.
Totally
traditional
is.
arcade.
It totally is.
No, this was not there in the 90s.
Yes,
is not
that's
the
why they brought
style.
in the skill. Like easy, the goal here is easy to play, hard to master.
But like when you play Streets of Rage and when you play Turtles, there's a distinct arcade feel there. This does not have that
it's
arcade
only
feel.
because of the
I
art.
would
You're
s-
talking about artwork.
I would say this is more with Ghosts and Goblins than like a beat 'em up. Like, remember the Ghosts and Goblins game where you're that guy in the armor and you're shooting your lances?
Yeah, see, Jason Potts definition: a beat 'em up is a type of action game where the player character must fight a large number of enemies in unarmed combat or with melee weapons. That's what Trek to Yomi is.
Well, yeah, but then technically, like Star Wars is a beat 'em up game because lightsabers are melee weapons.
Yeah, but no, Star Wars is the first.
But that game has the Force.
No. Like Knights of the Old Republic is
no Knights of the
technically
Old Republic.
there's
is,
melee weapons.
Is like the ultimate RPG. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, you're being
this is
facetious.
a broad. This is broad. This I can fit
Jordan.
a number of games.
Jordan,
in
we're
this
trying to have a
category.
serious, sophisticated discussion
Yeah,
here.
no.
You're being ridiculous.
Yeah. Even I have to agree with David on this one. I'm just kidding. Jordan.
Jordan, stop being ridiculous.
No, because it's still broad. You can class like Ori fits in this category.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Ori
It's
does
melee
not.
combat.
No, Ori does.
The only thing Ori has that Turtles doesn't, and your fix on this is puzzles.
See, Loyal says this looks more puzzle-like than he's talking about Trek to Yomi. It looks puzzle. There's no puzzles in this game. The game literally is beating up people.
Hold on. So what you're saying is if you add a puzzle into the game, you immediately jump genres.
Yeah, so Pedro Ramos.
It's a puzzler.
Pedro Ramos, shout out to Pedro Ramos. I think he has my back. If this game had pixel art, what would it be? If this game was pixel art, you would consider
Less
it
sophisticated.
You consider it beat 'em up. That's all my point is that. I don't know how we went down this road. Trek to Yomi's a beat 'em up.
What if Ori had pixel art?
Ori is not a beat 'em up game. Like again, Jordan.
What you just
Jordan,
read.
we're trying to have an
Ori
adult
is a beat
discussion here.
Read it. Read that. Read it again.
You're
read it again.
being ridiculous.
Read it again. Read it again. What you read, Ori would be considered a beat 'em up game.
No, it wouldn't.
Why would it
Ori,
not?
Ori is an adventure game.
Oh. Now what classifies it as an adventure game?
It's close to a Metroid.
it's an adventure, Jordan.
it's
Because
closer
you-
to a Metroidvania.
Because you're in a 3D platforming game that scrolls left to right, and you use melee combat against boss fights.
Jordan,
And there's a skill tree.
You're being ridiculous.
No, I'm telling you.
That's.
But since there's a puzzle,
I'm taking my ball and going home.
Also, would multiplayer be included in this? Because Trek to Yumi is not.
Okay, that is the one point that
Oh,
Wikipedia
Why don't
says.
we just start with that?
Wikipedia says traditionally beat 'em ups include at least 2-player
Next
co-op.
time-
Trek to Yomi doesn't have
Next
that.
time we start with that.
But that's the only. My point is that's the only differentiating factor.
I still don't think how you think Ori does not fall in that category. Then it meets the same standards.
No, see, Doyle agrees with me. Ori doesn't come close
But why? I will ask your question.
because it's
why?
because it's not even close to the same style gameplay at all.
You mean side scrolling?
Yeah, okay.
You mean
By
melee
that-
combat?
By that, every side scroller game then is.
That's literally what
is-
Mark and I were just
David,
saying.
now you're being ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what Mark and I were saying like 15 minutes ago.
No. You guys are foolish. You guys are foolish. On that, well, I don't know how we got on that
Wait,
tangent.
okay, so Blake, there's lots out there, especially
Little bit,
now
yeah.
that
Blake's
90% of games made are considered as hack and slash beat 'em up.
Yeah, well, Trek to Yomi would be one.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend Trek to Yomi
So
as a beat 'em up.
So yeah, the genre has just expanded significantly for you, according to David. So just play games and you'll be playing one. Right?
Yeah, see, samurai themed beat 'em up.
Hold on.
Boom!
It's
Boom!
wait, hold on. It's the chat saying it's not consistent fighting. Neither is Trek or Yomi. But it's
what are we-
considered a beat 'em up.
What are we
game.
talking about?
Beat 'em up
I'm
game.
pretty
still.
sure we're talking about games.
You're talking about Ori.
Yeah, Ori. They
Okay,
say
hold on.
So
Can we put a pause? Hold on.
Okay.
Pause. Spicy. Is Jordan not being ridiculous?
I don't want to answer that.
Trying
I don't want to get
say-
involved.
Yeah.
Trying to say Ori.
He's got
is
to
a
watch
beat
it.
'em up.
He's a team member on my Tarkov squad, and there
I
might be
play
friendly
with
fire
Tarkov.
depending on how he answers.
I can't afford good armor yet. So.
Yeah, there might be friendly fire depending on how you answer that question.
I hate it when mommy and daddy are fighting.
Defenestrator says, not since the Lincoln Douglas debate has it meant so much to so many.
Oh man. Yeah, so Blake, just play games. You'll be playing one eventually. Right, David?
Yeah, I mean, play
Should
Trek-
we start a
play
new
Tre-
sub show like
play
of
Trek
us
to
just
Yomi.
debating
Well, Jordan.
random topics?
Oh, Jordan.
No, look. All I'm
come-
saying is with your
please
beat 'em up
Please
log.
come more.
Get off
look,
your cloud,
please,
Jordan.
Please come more prepared next
No,
time.
no. How is it with what you've read and with what you read from Wikipedia and your standards for a beat 'em up game? Ori fits that category.
Hold on. Cooper says Trek to Yori.
To Yori, Ori, Yomi.
Trek to
Yummy.
Ori in the Blind Forest.
It'll be the third game.
Yeah, this show could be called "You're Being Ridiculous." That's fantastic.
Wait, hold on. What does the internet officially label the genre as? You were just on the page and you skipped it as soon as I pointed that out.
I think he's cultivating his responses.
They say it's a side-scrolling action game.
How dare they? They know better than to label something that David wouldn't
They
label it as.
mislabeled it.
No, but guys, my point is, if it's a side-scrolling action game, so is Ninja Turtles. And if Ninja Turtles,
I never said Ninja Turtles wasn't a
But if
side-scroller
Ninja
action,
Turtles is a beat 'em up game, so is Trek to Yomi.
as well as Ori.
That's foolish.
They literally have the same gameplay
No,
mechanics.
it's not even close.
How is it not even close? Because it has puzzles?
Yeah, a beat 'em up doesn't have puzzles.
Isn't a boss fight technically a puzzle? You're trying to figure out how
beat 'em
to.
up doesn't have puzzles. You have level where for instance, let's just look at the volcano level in Ori or the water level.
Trek to Yomi
where-
doesn't have levels like that. It's a continuous game.
That's my point. Those types of levels don't exist in beat 'em ups. Where
So Trek to Yomi's not a beat 'em
I'll
up?
argue, David. I will argue.
Thirdly, it's a Metroidvania type of game at its core because you've got a map that's blank and you're trying to open and unlock and open the whole map. And as you open up each section of the map, a new section of the map
But
opens
everything-
up. And by opening up those sections of the maps, you're getting new abilities.
Everything
That's not a beat 'em up.
everything you just said is Trek to Yomi.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Trek to Yomi, you're not. What, you're trying to open up different parts of the map?
No, you're
You're
not.
exploring different parts of the map. The
You're
level,
not.
there's a volcano that explodes, and you've got to race
that's-
against time on the
that's
level.
what I'm saying. You're not. And that's what you just said qualify as a beat 'em up game.
No, I was talking about Ori. is
I
not a
know,
beat 'em
but
up.
if you're gonna, you can't. So there's a different set of standards for every game we're playing.
No, I'm trying to be consistent here. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're not because you're giving different standards to Ori than you are Trek to Yomi. What you named in Ori those are elements in Trek to Yomi as well.
Okay, there might be some elements that cross over into every game, sure, but what is the focus of the game? The main thing you do in Trek to Yomi is fight players that come on the screen in waves.
That's technically the main thing you do in Ori, and it's broken up.
It's not.
But it's broken up by the Ginzo tree, which I had a terrible time with that level.
Each of the players in it is Ori is more akin to a Mario Brothers, which I would argue is a just traditional platformer game.
Yeah.
Than Trek to Yomi. Those aren't the same. Trek to Yomi and Ninja Turtles are way more closer, and I would argue the same genre at this point, than Ori and Trek to Yomi. Ori and Mario Brothers is the same genre.
No, see, I would put Ori in the same genre as Trek to Yomi under these new standards that we have.
Well, you are an idiot.
Trek to Yomi.
Give it to me.
And Teenage Mutant Turtles. They are turtles, and the other one's Japanese. So they can't be in the same genre.
But they're all ninjas.
No, one's
technically
samurai.
they're samurai, yeah.
Which is a type of ninja.
No, they actually didn't like each other.
Go.
Yeah, haven't you seen the movie with Tom Cruise?
He's fighting ninjas. Okay.
So yeah, you can't be right because one of the games has mutants and the other doesn't.
No, I'm just saying Ori would be considered in that genre as well.
I think what we should do is have a boxing match, and whoever wins gets to say that they won this argument.
I mean, we could call it right now. We've had many boxing matches throughout our childhood. Am I not undefeated?
Are you not entertained?
Am I not?
Anyways, back to Blake's question. Yeah, just play games and you'll find one.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. Great question.
What can we debate about now? Is there another
what's the
hot?
next
Is there
question?
another hot topic question in there?
We should turn every question into a debate.
Okay. Next question. Thanks, Blake. Great question. Thanks for writing in. Greg Pabin writes in and says, we've been waiting for the fruits of Xbox buying studios. Now that the fruit is almost here, I'm just worried that too much is coming all at once and not spaced out enough. Or do you think delays will help or hurt that? Too many other first-party studios. I mean, we know it's front-loaded to 2023.
Yeah.
Basically. Does that hurt Xbox, help Xbox? What do you think?
I don't think it hurts Xbox. I think at that level, it would hurt a specific game rather than the console, right?
And to be fair, I don't think releasing all at the same time. It used to be once we didn't have Game Pass, but I think Game Pass massages that a little bit into it blurs the line of having to play a game, not purchasing a game, essentially because another game comes out because you already have both games.
Yeah, so they're all on Game Pass. You can play them whenever you choose to play them. The release date really is more for marketing.
Yeah. Well, and I do think they probably think about it. Like, for example, I don't think Diablo 4 and Starfield are probably going to release in the same week, you know?
Yeah.
I think they might separate those a little bit.
For sure, yeah.
Heavy hitters. I don't think, like, that would be, even if you're on Game Pass, it would be foolish to release Starfield and Diablo on the same day. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, like, the big heavy hitters will be spaced out a little bit more, right? But I do think because of Game Pass, I think you're right. I think it's you're not as upset like, oh shoot, I wanted to play both these games. Oh well, I'll play this one first, and then I can always come back to this one because I have Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, but I do think your big AAA titles will still be spaced out.
Yeah.
You know,
especially competing AAA titles, which I think EA never really understood.
Yeah, that was funny.
Titanfall and Battlefield.
Okay, so now there's a debate. They're different enough. What?
That's not
one takes place in the future and one takes place in the
yeah,
present.
but you can run on walls in Titanfall.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there's robots in this one.
Remember how OP that gun was, that pistol? I can't remember what
the smart pistol?
Oh, that was in Titanfall
and
1.
They basically removed it in Titanfall 2.
That was in the campaign.
It was, by an NPC player, right? There was one level where you got it.
You can use it and you're like, oh man, this is what we used to do online.
Oh, I remember when I used to use this and it was good.
And you just like because didn't it get better as you shot more people or something? So you'd buff it up on the grunts.
Online,
It was
No,
something-
online, because if you remember, the grunts counted as 1 point and a player counted as 3.
Yeah,
but
so
with
you
the
could
smart
just-
pistol, in 2 seconds you could kill tons of grunts, and you would just rack up points.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like one of my favorite weapons I've ever used in any game.
It is a cool
It's,
weapon.
it's like
It's the pay to win weapon.
it's just
pay to win weapon.
whatever screen you're looking at, it goes brick, and then you just press the trigger.
they-
and it Iron Man's everybody.
Did they even have it? Did they even have it in multiplayer on Titanfall 2? I can't remember using it. I remember specifically it's in the campaign.
No, they didn't have it at all.
I don't remember
Oh,
if it was in
they might have had it in multiplayer, but it just was a regular pistol.
Yeah, it-
because I remember the first time I remember using it and being like, "Oh, this sucks."
All right, next game. I'll go to Battlefield now.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, next game."
Yeah, man,
Well,
that
okay, here's
that
a
was
question.
a blunder releasing those two at the same time.
What is the best pistol that has ever been made in any video game?
Well, I mean, Halo 1 pistol was
See?
pretty
That's-
overpowered.
that's really good,
In
yeah.
Halo, in Master Chief Collection, it's still, they did it. They're like, yeah, go play multiplayer with it. You'll dome people. It's ridiculous.
You also have the golden gun in GoldenEye.
The golden
One shot,
gun,
one kill?
Yeah. And then the
There's
smart pistol from Titanfall.
smart
'Cause, I mean, that
pistol.
was pretty dang awesome.
Yeah.
I would honestly say Halo. Chat, get in on this if you want to.
Yeah, Halo 1 pistol.
I bet you Doom has some crazy pistol.
Oh, the Fatebringer from Destiny.
Is
You
that the
remember
one that
Oh,
exploded
yeah.
to your friends?
Yeah, when
that
you
was a
shot it in
great-
the head and then it goes.
Do you know how many times I did not get that drop?
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, that was.
I never had. They're talking about the Rat King from Destiny. I never had that gun. I don't know what that is.
Was it called Fatebringer or something like that? But it was the one that you
Fatebringer-
shot it and then it exploded to the other enemies. It just dominated.
Fatebringer was the one from Destiny
and
1. I love
never,
that gun.
I never got it.
No, I would still say.
Didn't you get it? And you just like came in for like the last 2 bosses of the raid or something?
Yeah.
Because I was like, how did he get it? I didn't get it
I don't know. I should go back to my inventory and at the tower and look.
in Destiny 1.
Destiny 1.
The new game that's coming out? That's the Rick and Morty pistols.
Oh, those
Yeah,
look
they,
fun.
they might have some,
Those look
they
fun.
might have some winners.
My favorite one is the guy that
Don't worry, I'll grow more,
Yeah, he
right?
spawns babies that you shoot out. That's hilarious. Those might be the best pistols.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. Thank you very much for that question, Greg. Appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for listening. This week we're a day early. Again, love hanging out with you guys. Love playing on Xbox. Don't forget, are we really doing the Fallout
Yeah,
or Fall Guys before next week's show?
I
the
assume
hour
we were.
before next week's show.
Is
I mean, we
is
literally
an hour
just
enough
announced it. We literally just announced
Are
it.
you guys going to be here or
Oh, remote.
we're going to be
We'll all
remote?
play on our own consoles.
So we might have to do like 2 hours before because you guys need to come to my house and then we need to start.
Yeah, it was only like 5 minutes.
I know, but I mean like setup time, you know?
That
Or
would
do you
be-
just,
be
you know
good.
what? Yeah, I'm the only one that has to do the setup. So you guys are good.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be good.
Just
We'll
put
be
more
good.
pressure on me.
I don't understand what you're trying to.
We will do one round of Fallout, guys.
Maybe 2, right?
More 3. They're quick.
Yeah, they are. Well, if you lose, they're quick.
Yeah. That's,
So wait, so how are we just meet? Let's just say we'll talk on Discord and we'll probably
We'll
We
announce
will
it on
throw it in the
Discord.
announcements channel.
we'll drop the code. So if you're not over on Discord, come over on Discord. We'll drop the code there, and
yeah, that'd be really
we'll
fun.
do it the hour before, and
Are-
then we won't have in-game chat necessarily. I mean, in-game chat.
Well, yeah,
we
we'll do
probably won't
in-game
party.
chat.
We probably won't do party chat.
Yeah, because it would be too long to get everybody in. So I think there's an in-game chat that you can do, and you can just scream at each other. I think they only let you talk between lobbies or something. So anyway,
Yes,
I'll have to learn
yeah.
how the in-game chat works.
Hey, this
but-
sounds fun.
Yes.
But yeah, then
This
everybody
may
can be
be a
like,
weekly
you
thing.
get
Yeah, so
it.
we'll do it before the show. Bring your A game. We'll announce the time and everything. But normally our shows start between 6:30 and 7:30. So look at
MST.
that's Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
So look at between.
Make your own
So probably
adjustments.
5:30 or 6:30 will be the start time for Fall.
guys.
Hey, that sounds fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for joining us. Have a great week. Happy 4th of July
Yes,
to everybody.
it is America's
Happy Independence
birthday.
Day. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. Don't blow yourself up with fireworks. And
Why
for
not?
and for those of you that agreed with me on the beat 'em up, please leave a comment in the videos.
I don't even know what side I took.
And if you
to be
agreed
honest.
with Jordan, hit the like button here on YouTube. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye bye.